Good day, I'm African Crypto Warlord. It was a beautiful sunny day out here today. It was raining a bit earlier. So what we will be doing is we will be going over the use of Shannon Entropy whilst looking at XRP on a longer time frame. Okay, so this will be, let's not try drop it anything lower than a 4 hour, and then I'll drop it to a 45 minute to see where the 4 hours going. Okay, so what can we see? On our daily, we've come in and we've tested our mean from opening. Today we came up, we tested our daily volatility Laplace distribution mean, and we can see that now expansion is starting to be correlated to the downside. So volatility is expanding whilst negative correlation is taking effect. This means it's a dump to the downside. Okay, so now we'll go looking at the 7-day. We see what our volatility tools have to say. So we're contracting was positively correlated, which is gonna give us negative drift. Yeah, we're getting that. Perfect. So here, just because there's not enough data, we will pull up on one of these where we previously marked off. Let's switch all this off. Okay, reverse wave trend. Okay, so volatility is contracting, was positive correlation. We can see that has caused the negative drift. Okay, from here, that's all negative drift. Okay, so on the 7-day, let's put it on the 3-day. We have a little bit of a cross through here, a little bit of mean reversion, so we're looking for some follow through to the upside. Maybe another 3-day print, so that's 2 days away. Okay, who's got us here? So we're contracting, negative, positive correlated means negative float, so negative float to the downside. Let's drop it to the 24-hour. And we'll start to look for points that can invalidate this. So this volatility is rather high, so we would either expect the next candle to start contracting or the next candle to expand, then after that start contracting. If it does expand, then we know that there is a push to the downside. So 57 marks. If we're going to be basing from a mean like this, you can get to your 55 mark. Okay, so now I'll put it on the 12-hour. All the birds having their say. So a lot of negative drift taking place. That's all we've been sitting through, is negative drift for the last 2 days. Negative drift above the reverse wave trend, which is pretty good as well. Okay. For this to carry on to the downside, you close below reverse wave trend. Pearson correlation needs to start turning around, and volatility needs to start expanding, and then you'll have more consistent dump. Okay, more follow through. So on our 6-hour, we can see that we're still expanding, but we're in negative correlation. Our Pearson correlation is turning around, wanting to break through the mean over here. If this carries on expanding, you could see a little bit of a local bottom here. Putting in a div, low, no, yeah, putting in a div. That's if it can hold that 6-hour candle, 6-hour div. Okay, so returns are contracting, positively correlated, negative drift. So this is starting to become a very interesting point. So we'll start looking for the one where volatility is expanding and Pearson correlation is positively correlated. Then we'll start to figure out if those will be the time frames to fight on. Looking a little bit overextended, we've gone through our mean, so that's on our 2-hour. We're wanting to get back to our daily volatility mean, which is just above, just below our reverse wave trend, daily and weekly volatility mean, Laplace distribution mean. 1 hour, okay, contraction negatively correlated. So this is where we start to see our positive drift is in between these two time frames. Sorry, that's all the bugs out and about ready to play. Okay, negative contraction, negative correlation, that's causing us to float up, supporting 2 hours. So 3 hours thing. Contraction is still positively correlated, which means it's going down. Okay, so you saw that our 2 hour and our 1 hour also sitting like this. So you could say the 90-minute and below, we're starting to have float to the upside with regards to XRP to get us into regions over here. This is causing our float. Let's put it on the 45-minute, and then we'll go back to like what are the levels that can invalidate this. Contraction positively correlated. Contraction, volatility is contracting, Pearson correlation is positively correlated, causing negative drift. Okay, put it on a 15-minute, see if these guys are together. Same thing, this is giving us our positive float. So, positive float, 15-minute reverse wave trend. So, you could say that we will be looking to go a little bit sideways, to be range bound, I would say, considering all these indicators are wanting to reset. We have a whole bunch of lower time frame positive and negative drift causing these wicks. So yeah, your targets for the daily close, if bears keep it below here for daily close, you can expect more downside. If bulls are able to get it across and above the mean for daily close, you can expect a little bit more upside. We earmarked this region out before, 60.50, which is our previous 3-day turnaround point. So we've got our bull div, our first super scalpers coming through. When did our super scalper come through? Here. So now we're waiting for our longer time frame oscillator to mean revert. Okay. So yeah, that's your general story. This is going sideways until stated otherwise. The next best move is to the upside. It's getting a little bit dragged out. Obviously this can still expand on a 12-hour. We've just printed a new 12-hour. We haven't printed a blue here, okay, but our returns are diminishing to the downside, given us a big fat candle. But still, we're having outlier events on our AMP. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful. This is our 30-minute. Sideways, positively correlated, negative drift if I remember this. Yeah, negative drift. So algos, everybody's waiting to line themselves up. So what I like to go and do is the secret numbers. It's the secret numbers. So you're sitting above mean reversion, looking for pretty much center range. Confusion as we are going sideways completely. This one's negatively correlated, this one's positively correlated, this price action is going sideways. Not confusion in the market, maybe exhaustion to the downside, but the bears are playing a very tight game. Okay, so that's a 15. And these be our levels for interest's sake. Our weekly mean, volatility mean, can be, this current move can be defended by our first Laplace weekly level to the downside. Can be defended here, seeing as we did get this weekend here. I'm more happy with playing around at these points because you can see it's quite comfortable where it is. So to return back to the mean, if it wants to push through the mean, you'll more than likely find when it does start wanting to turn back to the weekly mean, our reverse wave trends will start lining up and helping the bears put on some shorts. Bulls have to put in a lot of work. So yeah, bulls want to buy here, bears want to sell here. And then, yeah, become a bull, become a bear, become a bull, become a bear, or become a bear, become a bear, then become a bull, depending on when and how the daily closes within the weekly mean and the daily means. Yeah. So this is our daily mean up in the top here. So this is going to be our first fight, getting through our weekly volatility level, and then we get nailed by the daily mean. Game of Nokia 3310. But yeah, we start to close the daily above here. That does support our center indicator. Okay, expansion. So we start to close below the mean. Then majority of the moves that would be used to try turn this thing around are going to get cut off here. Being quite overextended, given we haven't really pumped, we've just gone sideways. So I hope that was helpful, and these are the ranges we'll be playing around with. This is, let me make sure that I say all my levels so I can revise this when I am trading. Okay, 65 cents, previous monthly mean is at 81. Previous weekly is 65. 60.50 is our current. So yeah, it's you'll be looking for some positive drift or positive float. If this starts to contract, negatively correlated, bots and algos start to support, like we were discussing many 3-day videos ago, how the bots and algos are using the positive float to set these wicks. Like, okay, 4 hour, and I think we'll be done for the day. And I think I might jump in on this, into this weekly mean. It's looking a little bit dodge, maybe give it some time. Contraction, positively correlated, 4 hours still coming down. Contraction, positively correlated, 45 minutes is coming down. 15, contraction, negatively correlated, 15 minutes pushing up. 10 minutes. Contraction, volatility is positively correlated, negative drift, until this one flips to red. Okay, contraction, negatively correlated, is pushing the 10 minute through from the 5 minute. 10 minutes, you can trade. I like to use it to monitor, and I like to execute on the 1 minute. Okay, that's still floating up to the mean. Yeah. Okay, so this is our pump. That's causing us on our lower time frames to float up. This is why. This is our current volatility expansion matching up with Pearson correlation. As you can see, Pearson correlation broke and closed above the mean, expansion to the upside, coming into our reverse wave trend. Significantly correlated to the upside. Pop back on a 5 minute. Let's see, wait for the 30 seconds. Divide that candle in half. Okay, 5 minutes. Hopefully it's quick enough to load and we stay up here. Yeah, significantly. So this, on the higher time frame, on the 5 minutes, this is positive float bringing us up. On the 1 minute, this is true matching of volatility and direction, and Pearson correlation giving us the direction of volatility. And that's what helps supporting the 5 minutes. Okay, now we have contraction phase, also positively correlated, and that means you start to have taking profits algos. So float to the downside algos, see if they can get a good fill. Float to the downside, fill, wait for mean reversion, and does it contract or does it expand? The Pearson correlation, when we get here, does volatility contract or does it expand? Okay, so that's their fill. pushing through. Okay, we want to mark this area out, so when we get here we will be able to see a few other things. Contraction, looking a little bit done for, but this is still very much a wick range. Okay, contraction negatively correlated, not yet, so this is still going to dump until this gets across the mean, and then your bots start to buy up, but then it shifts it back over the mean, so they stop buying up, then it activates the sell bots, sell it back in, and then it starts to balance itself out. Contraction still floats down. Most of these buy orders, now you see, if you have a buy order and the candle can hold up here, okay, now we get further away, so contraction, negative drift is still a real thing. So you sort of want this candle to close up here and then still have contraction. Contraction is negatively correlated, so now it's a push to the upside. You see how they flow into each other. Still a little bit more contraction, come up into our reverse wave trend, and then obviously reverse wave trend, volatility is low, Pearson correlation is looking to correlate with something. So if we get here, volatility expands, we know why it's expanding. Okay, boom, now we wait for the next candle. Okay, significantly negatively correlated, so that means it's a lot easier to float this thing up. Volatility contracting while significantly negatively correlated is a lot easier to float this up. Okay, and vice versa. So we're looking for our daily mean. Here we go. Now we start turning around. Let's see. So that's increasing. Yeah, this could work out. They want to close this above our reverse wave trend, so that these can push through the mean, whilst that stays red for the next print. Then it'll carry on up. How far away? Okay, doop. A little bit of sideways action is what we would expect. So this is telling me the market has seen this. Algos are seeing this. We're going sideways, we're waiting for a decision to be made. Let's just pick it up onto the 10 minute, see if we still have our float. Okay. There you go, contraction was still significantly negatively correlated. You want to close above here, and volatility expand from here. That go red, this cross the mean, this pump. And vice versa. If this doesn't cross the mean, and that goes red, then it's done. Sideways. Okay, so this activates with the dump, coming off of the reverse wave trend. Boom, now you have your buying algos come in, at least trying to show their heads, turtleneck themselves here. They will still pick it up, and they can still pick it up. Yeah. Okay. Another whole minute before we can get a clearer picture as to if this is a sell. This is our 45 minutes coming in. This is our 1 minute mean, our 1 minute reverse wave trend. Okay, so this is where, like, if you're to look at candles where people enter, it's usually the next one. But given that reverse wave trend gave us a few good reads, guys filling to the top side, weren't able to defend. They're coming back in. Let's see if it gets nailed. Okay, so this one's going to be quite hard to fight out of for the bulls, because we're still negatively correlated and this is still expanding. So even though it's pumping up, you'll be looking for push through, as you could see with our mean. They have to hold it up here, have to hold it above here, otherwise these things all turn around and major fuckery. Okay, crushed through the mean, significant candle. It was pink down here, it's blue up here. That's what backs that stuff. Expansion. Contraction, positively correlated. Downside. Let's go zoom up, see what's chasing up onto the 15 minute. Okay, contraction sideways, we're trying to negatively correlated, that's positive drift. That's helping us float to the mean. It's our 5 minute saying. 5 minute is contracting, negatively correlated, that's still giving us our upside. Let's see if the 1 hour is starting to turn around. Still contracting, still negatively correlated. Cool. And it was just after our 2 hour where I think majority of them are positively correlated. Okay, so that's still our drift to the upside. Here we go, contraction and positively correlated. So your 3 hour algos, they will be taking some profits here. Taking profits as in little buys, bigger sells. 4 hour we're still getting stuck up in this trend of downwards pressure until stated otherwise. So those are our levels for XRP. So put it on the 1 hour, a little bit easier to see. Okay, so that's a 2 band move. This is a 1 band move. Volatility levels are close together, so start look for trending price action. Where are weekly levels? Weekly levels 650. And a monthly level 67 cents. To the upside, to the downside, weekly. First one is at our 3rd band on our weekly. 55 cents. So those are your ranges, pretty much 65 cents down to 55 cents from here to here. And then we can zoom out, so we'll do this. Mark it off, switch VRE off, reverse wave trend, VRE, switch that off. Now you can see market structure. So a big screen here, drop that wide, put this on to the 12 hour. This be our range. Crossing through 12 hours, looking to break through. Got no VRE up, expanding. Trend is starting to decay. Returns are starting to returns diminished, so now they're starting to increase to the upside. Our AMP looking to break up to the upside. See some volatility flashes, nothing. So that's my range. That's what I'll mark it out for you guys as. Either being 9 up, I think it'll be like a 2% difference down from that number. 8.17 to the downside, you could say. Just go 8. Okay. I hope that was helpful. And those are the levels that news cannot beat. Buy the news. Solid day. Have a good day further.